So, my parents, my community, they told me to go where the money was. For me, that was engineering. I did pretty well on my SATs and math and in MCAS. But I always wanted to be a teacher. My mom's here today, and she was a teacher for 36 years. She taught biology and anatomy at Taunton High School. And every day she would come home and she would tell me unbelievable, inspiring stories about how she got to make a difference for her students every day. But I was living someone else's dream. They always told me that teachers don't make that much money. But I kept daydreaming about it, and I kept thinking about it. And so one day in 2013, I said to my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, I said, I am a teacher, as I came home from my engineering job. And she said, yeah, you are. What do we do now? And so I wasn't really sure, but I just kept talking about it. I kept talking with my family, my friends, my community. I said what I really wanted to do, which was teach. At some point, I dared to take the teacher test. I didn't think I was going to pass it. I did. And then I started living it. I started taking actions consistent with that. So I became a tutor. I started a community service project with a local high school with my coworkers at the engineering company. And then I became a big brother in the Big Brother, Big Sister program. So I just kept living it. And at some point I started applying for jobs that I didn't think I was qualified for. And then I left my job in June 2014 to pursue teaching. I had the summer left. Next, I declared to an entire room of strangers that I was going to be a teacher by September 1st without having any leads. August 28th, I got a call. It was a school. Today, I'm a teacher at the Robinson Middle School in Lowell, Massachusetts. I also do coaching. This is the girls team, won the basketball championship this year. One thing I didn't realize at that time was that we're never really that far away from our dreams. Getting onto the path towards our dreams is usually not that far away. Now, not everyone will accomplish their dreams in the time that it took me, a little less than a year, but we can always get onto the path. So today I want to talk to you about what are some of the steps I take when I want to start pursuing one of my dreams. So the first one is the word. You speak it. For me, that was saying to my girlfriend at the time, I am a teacher, despite my circumstances and physical reality would disagree with that. In the Bible it said, in the beginning there was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So they knew that creation had something to do with language. A really great example of this is in 1962, President Kennedy, he said, we're going to be on the moon in the 60s. The engineers and the scientists were like, are you kidding me, dude? We don't have the technology for that. No way. In 1969, though, Neil Armstrong planted the flag on the moon. So it didn't start with technology. It didn't start with the circumstances being correct. It started with the Word. Tom Brady, I'm sure most of you know him in here, quarterback of the New England Patriots. He reads the same book every year. He reads this book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The first agreement of this book is to be impeccable with your word. Why? Why be impeccable with our word? What does that even mean? The reason is because words create. The words don't care what you create. They just create stuff. So, like we heard earlier, Henry Ford once said that whether you say you can or you say you can't, you're right, because words create. Now at the time, I didn't really believe in that, so it didn't work out for me. So next step is believing. You got to believe it. Some of us have this unbelievable ability to believe in ourselves when no one else agrees with us. Person I'm imagining in my head is my friend Nelly. He just keeps killing it. He just keeps going even when the circumstances around him don't help him out. We saw in Super Bowl 51, the Patriots go down to a 28-3 deficit. The main difference between the 114 million people watching, or at least most of them, and the team is that they believed. How many in here maybe left the game or turned the TV off at halftime or the third quarter? Yeah. So, first thing, Julian Edelman said, you got to believe. Danny Amendola said, got to believe. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, said, you believe we can win? I absolutely do. It was really hard to find those quotes, actually, because the Patriots were not out on the field doing interviews at halftime. They were staying with their inner circle. They were talking about how much they believed. They're talking about doing your job. The inner circle is so important for us, right? Because it's so hard out there to believe when you don't have history or the world backing you up. Coming over a 25-point lead had never been done. It's easy to leave the game at halftime when you're down by 18 points. It's easy to say it's all over in the third quarter when you're down by 25 points. Alyssa, my wife, she knows one of the roles that she plays in my life is believing in me when I don't believe in myself. And so for some of us, it's really important to have that inner circle when you don't have that ability to believe in yourself. Next is you start taking action. You just do it. You don't wait for things to happen to you, you do it. So for me, that was going out applying for jobs, that was taking the teacher's test, and then I started living it. I started becoming a mentor, I started tutoring for free, and I started a community service project. In 2016, I did the same thing. I used the same technique. I said, I am an author. I had nothing to show for it. Why would I ever call myself an author? Because I said to myself, I'm going to declare it, and then I'm just going to take action consistent with what authors do. So I took my summer break, and I started writing. October last year, I published a book. See, sometimes we have to fake it till we make it, because we don't have those physical and life circumstances that agree with us. People would say, you're not an author, where's your book? I am an author, I'm writing one right now. A lot of people want to skip those steps too. A lot of us in here, I guarantee you, we're not doing things because we're afraid that people are going to hear what we're saying. They're going to say, oh, you're writing a book, good luck with that. And then they'll be there to say, I told you so when you fail. And that's why we don't declare things. I want you to consider that you're the only one in your way. Sure, when they discourage you from doing things, you can blame them. But for the most part, you're the only one in your way. I'm now going to tell you the three things. Oh, sorry, this is my excited face when I saw the proof of my book for the first time. So now I'm going to tell you the three things that will kill your dreams. And that's what those first three steps were to do, to fight through to get to these. You had to fight these to get through. So the first one is doubt. I hear this from my students every day. When I practiced this in front of them every day, they all laughed and giggled when I said this. They say, Mister, we can't do this. We've never done slope before. When you and your community doubt yourselves, it completely chokes out your dreams. They don't have a chance. And you stop taking action. The second one is perfectionism. There's so many people out there, they're not taking action because it's not perfect action. I know I hear voices in my head all the time saying, you messed up in your teaching lesson today. You stink and you should quit. You're not a teacher. You're just a second or third year. I hear voices saying, there's errors in your book. Why the heck are you trying to sell this thing? You're not an author. I hear voices that say, that YouTube video, like 5 people watch. It's been up for a month. No one's watching. It's a snooze fest. Stop making these things. No one's watching. If I were to listen to those voices, I wouldn't be a teacher, author, or YouTuber. Now, I'll say this to you. I call myself a YouTuber. Some people might not say I am. I have 230 subscribers. To me, that's a huge deal because I went from 0 to 230. Some people see the people with millions of them and they say, 2:30. Who's this guy? Before I wrote my book, I said to myself, I'm okay with there being errors in the final copy. And that was what gave me permission to write it. I said to myself, action is more important than perfection. George Patton, general from World War II, he said, a well-executed plan today is better than a perfectly executed plan next week. So a lot of us are waiting for that perfect plan to exist so we can take action next week. The last one is taking no action. So the first two really contribute to the no taking action. Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players of all time, he said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, even if they're not perfect shots. Even if you doubt whether the shot's going in, you got to take it. One thing I realized is that I don't have to be a teacher, the title of it, to teach. I don't have to have a book to be an author. Just like none of you out there need a fancy camera to say that you're a photographer. You just need this. We just need our iPhones, or our smartphones, or the beat-up camera that you buy in the Goodwill store for 30 cents because it's from 2001. All you need is a camera, not a perfect one. So I want you to think about this. What are the gifts that you're holding back from the world because you're doubting yourself and you want to do it perfectly, and so you don't take action? Are you happy because of it? Are you achieving your dreams by holding back and working on that perfect plan? What if you were to just take action? If you draw doodles all the time, I know the students out there love drawing their doodles. I find them on my exit tickets and quizzes all the time. If you rearrange the furniture in your room or in the classroom and you want to be an interior designer, or if you design rhymes all the time and you want to be a rapper or a poet, stop doubting yourself. Just take action. See, I think that's the weird part of ourselves. We think we're supposed to hide from the world. We think we're supposed to keep this weird part of us inside ourselves. But I think, and this is what I say at the end of all my YouTube videos, is I tell my audience to stay weird. And I say that because I think that when we're our weirdest selves, we're our most authentic, true selves. And that's the one that makes us the happiest. That's the one that is accomplishing and living our dreams. So I invite you, if you're someone out there that is writing poetry at home, but you don't show it to people because it's not perfect, just get it out there. If any of you watch some of my videos, I got a couple of poems out there. They don't even make sense, but it sounds cool because it rhymes. It got out there though. Right? I just get it out there. I just take some action. Right? So if you're a poet, let that poet out inside. Right? Take the action whether it's perfect or not. I promise you will accomplish your dreams and you will be happy. Thank you, and stay weird with me and Macklemore.